Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. General Hospital spoilers and updates reveal there are 3 key reasons why Willow Corinthos, Caitlin McMullen, is finally receiving what she truly deserves. The mistreatment of Michael Corinthos, Rory Gibson, ends here. So let's discuss Willow's decline and why it has been overdue. To begin with, Willow should face consequences for abandoning her devoted husband and the happy family they created together. While it's true that secrets occasionally created rifts between Willow and Michael during their marriage, Michael's intentions were always honorable. He is undoubtedly a far better man than Drew Kane, Cameron Matheson, who persistently manipulates and deceives Willow for his own benefit. After Fee, Willow succumbed to her desires for Drew and ultimately allowed herself to fall for him completely. She is now deserving of the heartache that is coming her way. From using Michael's medical proxy as leverage to signing documents that designate Drew as the children's guardian in case of her untimely demise, Willow has shown that she is untrustworthy. It's true that Willow's cult background likely makes her more susceptible to Drew's manipulation, but she is still an adult capable of making her own choices. Drew is a terrible person, yet Willow is nearly as culpable for disregarding all the critics and warning signs. While Willow may not be aware of all the horrible things Drew has done, it's partly because she is ignoring the reality and refusing to acknowledge that he is trouble. During a custody dispute, Drew even suggested they could portray Michael as an absentee father who left his kids. This is a burn victim who has been recovering at a clinic and doing everything possible to return home. It's fantastic news that Michael has finally come back to take charge of the situation and put Willow in her place. Willow is allowing Drew to deceive her, so it's time for Michael to step up and take the necessary actions. It can be challenging for fans to embrace new actors, so it was clever for the GH writers to have Michael return in such a dramatic and vengeful way. Many viewers support Michael in the custody battle and his quest for revenge, which surely aids Rory Gibson as he acclimates. This opportunity allows Gibson to shine from the start, so we're all in favor of Willow and Drew's downfall. For years, General Hospital fans have watched Willow Tate transform from a quietly suffering school teacher into a nurse, wife, and mother tangled in some of Port Charles' most dramatic storylines. Her journey has been marked by loss, trauma, and emotional growth, but it's also been marred by decisions that alienated her from longtime fans and exposed the underlying flaws in her seemingly sweet exterior. While some sympathize with Willow's recent pain, others see her current struggles as the well-earned fallout of choices that finally caught up to her. Here are 3 reasons why Willow's current trials are not only justified, but well-deserved, within the framework of her character arc. Willow's self-righteousness has gone unchecked for too long. Let's face it. Willow has long worn the mask of humility while wielding a holier-than-thou attitude beneath the surface. At first, viewers were drawn to her vulnerability, a former cult member trying to rebuild her life after surviving Dawn of Day. But over time, that vulnerability morphed into a rigid moral superiority that began to grate on both characters and audiences. From her judgmental stance toward Nina Reeves to her dismissive treatment of characters like Sasha and even Carly at times, Willow often puts herself on a pedestal. Despite being adopted, she lacked compassion for Nina's initial emotional flailing when the truth of their biological relationship came to light. Rather than extending empathy to a woman reeling from the discovery of a long-lost daughter, Willow chose instead to slam emotional doors shut and reinforce walls between them. While her anger toward Nina wasn't entirely baseless, Nina has certainly done her share of damage. Willow's lack of willingness to engage or forgive, even after the truth was revealed and her own life was at stake, painted her in a cold and calculated light. She demanded perfection from others while justifying her own moral missteps. This inflexible attitude made it difficult for viewers to root for her, and her current struggles, be it emotional distance, fractured relationships, or guilt over past actions, are a necessary corrective to her inflated self-image. Struggles. Bring humility, and humility is exactly what Willow has needed. The pain she's experiencing now is helping to chip away at that hardened, judgmental shell, making space for real growth. Her blind loyalty to Michael has enabled lies and hypocrisy, one of the more frustrating aspects of Willow's character. Development has been her unwavering devotion to Michael Corinthos, even when it meant turning a blind eye to his hypocrisy. Willow has repeatedly prioritized Michael's wants and secrets over truth and transparency, creating ripple effects that have harmed others. The most glaring example? Her knowledge of Michael's vendetta against Sonny Corinthos. While Michael paraded as the dutiful son and father, he was simultaneously funding Dex to infiltrate and eventually destroy Sonny's empire. Willow knew, and she said nothing, despite the fact that Sonny is not only Michael's father but her children's grandfather. She chose loyalty to Michael over doing the right thing. Even worse, she lectured Nina endlessly for her omissions and manipulations while remaining complicit in Michael's far more dangerous game. The double standard was staggering. Willow, who preached truth and forgiveness, remained comfortably quiet as long as the deception served her family's interests. Her current discomfort, the weight of secrets, the pressure of strained relationships, and the realization that her moral compass might be broken, is not only justified but necessary. She's finally confronting the consequences of protecting Michael at all costs. If she wants redemption, she'll need to start by acknowledging how her silence and loyalty have enabled toxicity and betrayal. Her past choices are catching up with her, as they should. Soap operas are built on long-term storytelling, and Willow's past choices are finally yielding fruit in the form of conflict, regret, and a long-overdue reckoning. For years, she's lived in a carefully constructed bubble, painting herself as a victim when it suited her and as a moral compass when it didn't. But reality has a way of cracking through illusions. One prime example is her treatment of Nina. For most of their strained relationship, Willow kept Nina at arm's length until her health crisis forced a shift. Even when Nina offered support, Willow was cold, suspicious, and dismissive. Now that she knows Nina is her mother and that Nina made the controversial call to report Carly and Drew to the SEC, Willow finds herself torn between loyalty and truth. The pain she's feeling over the rift between her biological mother and her husband's family is a pain born of years of resistance, denial, and moral rigidity. This is the emotional fallout of building walls instead of bridges, and let's not forget how she treated her supposed best friend Sasha. When Sasha spiraled into addiction and grief, Willow offered tepid concern, but never fully re-engaged with her. For someone who was once so deeply tied to Sasha and Chase, Willow seemed all too willing to discard people who no longer fit her safe narrative. Now that her world is unraveling, she's learning that loyalty isn't just for the people who make your life easier. It's for those who were there for you when you needed them most. Willow is learning that decisions, especially the ones that sideline truth and empathy, have long-lasting consequences. The fractures in her relationships, the growing distance between her and Michael, and her deepening conflict over her identity are not just soap opera drama. They're the natural evolution of a character who avoided inner reflection for too long. Why these struggles matter. Redemption. Through suffering, soaps are at their best when characters are put through the ringer and come out transformed. Willow's current pain isn't just drama for drama's sake. It's an essential crucible that may finally force her to grow into a more layered, compassionate, and self-aware version of herself. Pain can be transformative when characters are brave enough to face it, and Willow is at that exact crossroads now. She's dealing with betrayal, disillusionment, and an identity crisis. Her carefully curated world has cracked open, and it's the best thing that could have happened to her. This is the beginning of an emotional and moral reckoning, and frankly, it's long overdue. There's poetic justice in watching Willow squirm under the weight of her own choices. Not because we want her to suffer, but because we want her to change. Willow has been static for too long, stuck in a cycle of silent superiority and selective forgiveness. Now, she has the chance to confront the messiness of being human, and that's where real storytelling begins. Final thoughts. Justice doesn't always look cruel. Sometimes it's necessary. It's tempting to feel bad for Willow, especially when she clutches her children or leans into tearful, introspective scenes. But the best characters aren't the ones who are always likable. They're the ones who are challenged and forced to evolve. Willow's struggles right now are richly deserved, not out of spite or punishment, but as a crucial catalyst for growth. Her story is no longer just about surviving a cult or finding love. It's about learning how to live with the complexity of human relationships, where no one is perfect, and everyone is capable of both love and harm. If Willow can walk through this fire with her eyes open, she just might emerge as the woman many fans hoped she would be all along, empathetic, flawed, and fully awake to the consequences of her choices. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our GH News 24 YouTube channel for more update news.